The Sacred Realm is a critical component of the Legend of Zelda's lore and is first officially mentioned in the timeline during its pivoting point, Ocarina of Time. But what if I told you that its first appearance in the timeline was actually in Skyward Sword rather than Ocarina of Time? Because the Sacred Realm is actually the transformed Silent Realm. Sound crazy? It should, but bear with me as I cover the evidence that points towards its potential reality. My name is Andy, and welcome to Zeldom. The Sacred Realm is known to be the resting place of the Triforce until the events of Ocarina of Time. The cutscenes within the game imply that the Triforce has remained in the Sacred Realm since the creation of the world by the Golden Goddesses. However, the history presented in Skyward Sword, the game deliberately made to be the first game in the timeline, appears to contradict this by having Link obtain the Triforce from a serene yet intimidating alternative dimension known as the Silent Realm. To make connections between the Sacred Realm and the Silent Realm, we need to analyze the origin of the Triforce and lore of the Sacred Realm presented in Ocarina of Time and Skyward Sword. Following the creation of the world, the three Golden Goddesses left the world, leaving behind remnants of their power, the Triforce. In Ocarina of Time, the Great Deku Tree tells Link that the resting place of the triangles, referring to the Triforce, has become the Sacred Realm, which insinuates that the Triforce is laid in the Sacred Realm since the creation leading up to the events of Ocarina of Time. However, the prologue of Skyward Sword appears to contradict this when it tells of Demise and his armies waging war on the surface to obtain the Triforce guarded by the goddess Hylia. When describing the Triforce's power, it states, "Such was the might of the ultimate power, that the Old Ones placed it in the care of the goddess Hylia." This part of the game suggests that the three Golden Goddesses gave the Triforce to Hylia around when they left the world, and is verified on page 70 of the Hyrule Historia, which states, "The Golden Goddesses departed from the world. They created and left the Triforce in the care of the goddess Hylia." Now we know that Hylia had the Triforce since the Golden Goddesses left the world, leading to the events mentioned in the prologue of Skyward Sword. This clears up any confusion caused by legends told in various games, but still leaves us wondering, who created the Sacred Realm and Silent Realms? Why? And are they actually the same dimension? Although the first three Silent Realm trials bear the names of Furore's, Nehru's, and Din's Silent Realms, all of the Silent Realm trials were created by Hylia, which is confirmed by the Zelda wiki. Hylia named them this way because their purpose was to test and develop the hero's courage, wisdom, and power, the virtues of the Triforce and Golden Goddesses, so he could become worthy of wielding the full Triforce and defeating Demise. Since Hylia created the Silent Realm trials, is it possible she also created the Silent Realm itself? It is not said in any game that the Sacred Realm was created by the Golden Goddesses. The closest thing to this is from Ocarina of Time, saying that they left behind the Triforce and that its resting place became known as the Sacred Realm. We have seen manifestations of Hylia's great power through her cutting slabs of the earth and suspending them in the sky to create Skyloft, or creation of life such as Fi, and single-handedly sealing away the world's greatest evil, Demise, for unknown millennia. Need I say more? Due to this and the fact that she created the Silent Realm trials, I believe it's perfectly reasonable to assume Hylia created the Silent Realm itself as a place to spiritually develop her chosen hero and protect the Triforce. Now let's finally try to answer the question, is the Sacred Realm and Silent Realm the same thing? To do this, we will start by analyzing some of their similarities, starting with the obvious. To access the Silent Realm through the trial gates, Link has to play the corresponding songs on the Goddess Harp. Performing these sacred songs serve as one of the keys to accessing the Silent Realm. The Silent Realm is not the only dimension where playing a sacred instrument is needed to access. Playing the Song of Time on the Ocarina of Time serves as one of the many keys to accessing the Sacred Realm. Likewise, drawing the Master Sword from the Pedestal of Time serves as the final key to unlocking the gateway to the Sacred Realm, the same sword which must be thrust into the trial gate as the last step to entering the Silent Realm. Sure, these similarities could just be due to a recurring gameplay mechanic, but let's look at another example. The place where Hylia hid the pieces of the Triforce after splitting it and sending the surviving humans into the sky appears to be the Silent Realm. To get to these locations, Link must thrust the Master Sword into a pedestal and is shown being transported just like he is with the Silent Realm trials. The place also has the same murky blue sky and ethereal aura to it. It's pretty clear that the place Hylia stashed the pieces of the Triforce for her chosen hero to find is located within the Silent Realm. The Great Deku Tree in Ocarina of Time says the resting place of the Triforce became known as the Sacred Realm. So if the Golden Goddesses entrusted Hylia with the Triforce, and she later hid it for untold ages within the Silent Realm, doesn't that suggest that the Silent Realm is synonymous for the Sacred Realm? I'm sure there are some who are already asking, but doesn't Fi say that the Silent Realm is a spirit world that only Link can enter? Yes, but let's look at what she says exactly so we can take this into context. When Link first enters the Silent Realm, Fi tells him, "As expected, I cannot follow you into this realm, for this trial calls out to your mind alone. This is the nature of places known as Silent Realms. They are domains of the spirit, accessible only by the goddess's chosen hero." Initially, this quote makes us believe that only Link can enter the Silent Realm, and that it is, indeed, a spirit realm, not a physical world, so there is no way it could possibly be the Sacred Realm. Fi even says shortly after that Link's spirit has temporarily separated from his physical body so that he may undertake this challenge. However, if we look closely as Link thrusts his sword into the trial gate, it begins to glow as he gets transported into the Silent Realm, while his sword, shield, and other gear remain in the normal world. Although his items remain behind, Link's body is clearly shown physically leaving the overworld, so it's probable that his body and spirit are not literally separated as it is led to believe. Hylia could have designed the trial in the Silent Realm to develop his spirit while also protecting his physical body from any harm he may encounter within the Silent Realm, such as from the Guardians. Also, since Fi is the spirit of the Master Sword, aka Goddess Sword, it makes sense that she must stay behind with the sword. This helps explain why Link's body was transported, and why Fi cannot physically follow Link into the Silent Realm, but still does not refute the idea that the Silent Realm is a spiritual world, thus having different traits than the Sacred Realm. When developing this theory, I got stumped at this point, but then I realized that although Link cannot bring his physical items into the Silent Realm trials with him, there are physical items that Link can collect in the Silent Realm and bring back. These items are the Dusk Relics. If the Silent Realm was only a spirit world, then he should not be able to take these relics with him out to the normal world. The reason Link cannot bring any equipment into the Silent Realm is likely because Hylia designed the trial gate specifically to transport the hero without any of his equipment as part of the trial. If we read carefully, Fi specifically says that the trial calls out to his mind alone, not referring to the entire Silent Realm. This makes sense as the trial gates were designed by Hylia to be only accessible by her chosen hero through wielding her heart and the Goddess Sword. So this interpretation of Fi's quote makes sense. Now that I've addressed that important bit from Fi, let's move on to the juicy evidence for this theory. Once Link obtains all three pieces of the Triforce from the Silent Realm, the architecture begins to glow and the sky of the Silent Realm turns from its murky blue color into a bright amber gold. Due to the excitement of finally obtaining the full Triforce, this small event has probably been overlooked by many, yet this is a crucial detail. In Ocarina of Time, Sheik describes the Sacred Realm as a mirror that reflects what is in the heart of the one who enters and touches the Triforce. If an evil heart, the realm will become full of evil. If pure, the realm will become a paradise. The franchise is consistent with this attribute, as when Ganondorf attempts to wish upon the Triforce in the Sacred Realm, it splits up, leaving him with only the Triforce of Power, but also turning the Sacred Realm into a dark world. When Link unites the Triforce in Skyward Sword, he has been conditioned by many spiritual trials from the goddess to temper his spirit, and his only wish is to save his best friend from demise, along with the rest of the world. If anyone in Hyrule history at this point has a pure heart, it's definitely Link. The fact that when Link unites the Triforce in the Silent Realm, it transforms into a bright golden paradise, just like Sheik described what happened to the Sacred Realm, seems like far more than a coincidence. After Link defeats Demise, Impa tells Zelda, when it has served its purpose, it must be secreted away to lie dormant once again, the knowledge of its existence hidden from mortal history. Since they need a place that is difficult to access to hide the Triforce, and the purpose of the Silent Realm was fulfilled, what better place was there than to put it back into the Silent Realm? After the events of Skyward Sword, it's highly likely that Zelda hid the Triforce back into the transformed Silent Realm, and as the legends of the Triforce spread, it became known as the Sacred Realm. That wraps up this theory. Before we end the video, I want to share some things that I considered mentioning but tossed out because I decided it was not very strong or relevant evidence. Link to the Past refers to the Sacred Realm as the Golden Land of the Triforce. On page 20 of Arts and Artifacts, there's an official artwork depicting the Triforce illuminating the restored Sacred Realm. It shows floating islands with temple-like structures which somewhat resemble Skyloft. Also, on page 77 of the Hyrule Historia, it says, Rauru built the Temple of Time directly over the ruins of the Sealed Temple. I thought this was interesting, as the Sealed Temple is where Link sets the Master Sword to rest in Skyward Sword, and supposedly remains there until drawn again in Ocarina of Time. After wishing upon the Triforce for Demise's destruction, the Isle of the Goddess, which includes Skykeep, falls directly into the sealed grounds and reunites itself with the Sealed Temple, also known as the Temple of Hylia. Since the gateways to the Triforce's location within the Silent Realm is in Skykeep, which is also now adjoined underneath the Sealed Temple, I thought, maybe Rauru and the other sages drew some of the gateway's power to the pedestal the Master Sword was in while they were creating the Temple of Time. Also, they may have used some of those gateway marks of the Golden Goddesses to create the spiritual stones as keys for accessing the Sacred Realm. Like I said, these are just some interesting thoughts I had while making this video, but scrapped them because I didn't think they had enough support and had a hard time connecting them at the time. Perhaps in a future video, I'll incorporate some of these ideas. Anyways, if you enjoyed this video, please leave a like, subscribe to our channel, and share with your friends. Let us know what you think about our theory in the comments below. Feel free to discuss any evidence or issues for the theory that you think we could have included, or any other contradicting facts you think we may have missed and should have addressed. We will be looking at these comments, so if you would like to request another topic for us to make a video on, feel free to let us know. As this is our first video on the channel, we do not have any other videos to recommend to you, but be sure to click the notification bell so you'll know when we upload a new video. Thanks for watching guys, and we hope to have you with us for our next video.